In a previous video, I installed my non-permanent Starlink mount. And while I still like the flexibility it gives me to use the Starlink on and off the van, in today's video I want to add even more flexibility and add an option that allows me to use the Starlink while I'm driving. And for that I bought this mount here. It is from a company called It is from a company called Veritas Vans, and the mount itself is made of HDPE plastic. The Starlink dish, and we are talking about the Starlink Mini here, goes into this shell and then is held in place by this plastic frame. So this goes on here and then is secured in place with a bunch of bolts. And then you can customize this whole frame with several mounting options. They sell you suction cups, magnets, but I opted for these ones. These are brackets for a rack mount. And the way this works is relatively simple. So those shorter side rails can be removed and then simply replaced with these ones. Same on the other side. Like so. And then they are screwed in place. Whoops. They are screwed in place from the other side, from the top. Like so. And with that we have some nice mounting options here for a rack mount. Starlink is inside and can be mounted to, well, the roof rack. I want to mount it in this area here, but the distance between those two roof rack rails is too much. And for that I made my own support frame from a few pieces of aluminum. These longer ones will go between the rails that the solar panels are attached to, and then these cross braces these are L brackets, they will go in here, and then another one here. And then I can drop the Starlink dish into here. Into here and bolt it in place. I put riv nuts in here so I can just use a bolt from the top through here and into this. And for power I can just tap into the existing wire that provides power to the mount in the back. I have this little plastic box here that I put another socket in, and I can just splice this into the cable that is already on the roof. And this is the same style plug that I have in the back, so whether the Starlink is on the non-permanent mount in the back or the new one, I can just plug it in here. You need to use washers here. And then if I want to remove it, I can either remove these bolts and take the whole thing off, or I just remove these bolts and take the Starlink off and leave the brackets on the roof rack. I'm using these T-bolts to mount them into the rail. They just drop in and then they rotate and wedge themselves into the rail. I got the rack installed and there's just enough clearance over this roof access port here and over here. And there's also enough clearance here. This is the shower vent thing, so even if that is coming up, it will still clear the rack. It was a little bit of a struggle to get this bolt in, this one here at the back, because while there's enough clearance for the dome of the vent, there wasn't enough clearance to get the wrench in. So I had to unbolt this part of the roof rack and then lift the whole thing up a little bit in order to get my socket wrench in from underneath and tighten this bolt. But it's all done now and I can work on the electrical installation. It is windy today. I want to mount the connection box here. So let's see. I'm using the same T-bolts. Now the lid of the box has this seal here. Needs to go in here somehow. Well, and the last step is splice this here. This is the cable to the new box into this. This is the existing cable to the other mount in the back. So I just need to connect these two. Here it goes. And as always in recent weeks, I'm using these butt splice connector thingies here. All right, it's one of two. Now I need to get the heat gun, shrink it all down, and make it a little neat. Well, now for the final piece. Of course, now the question is, how well does it work? And I have to say, it is working really well. We did a bunch of test drives and never really had any dropouts. We were streaming video while driving north, east, south, west in all different directions. And while the dish is flat all the time, obviously, we never had any reception problems. And remember, this is with the Starlink Mini, which isn't exactly designed to lay flat on the roof. The instructions say it should face north and it should be tilted slightly upwards. But still, even when it is flat on the roof, I never had any problems sending, receiving data and keep a permanent and stable internet connection. I didn't run any speed tests though, but I can say that streaming YouTube videos works perfectly fine. And really, that's all you need these days, right? And even if there's a little bit of tree coverage, which we don't have a lot here in Texas, unfortunately, it's not a problem. I can still get a decent signal. And of course, I still have my other mount and the tripod, so if I have to ever move it away from the van to get even better reception, I can do that as well. Well, and that's all I had for today. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.